R&B diva, Tanya Blount. She's up next. Let's talk. What's up, everybody, and welcome back over here to my channel, Peppy's Point of View. That's right, I am your host, your R&B historian, Peppy, and welcome back. We're talking about R&B diva Tanya Blount. That's right. Whew, I know I have been away from you guys as far as talking about my favorite R&B divas for quite some time, but I've been working on some things behind the scene and also too my full time be full time. And you understand what I'm saying? Like I have to devote my attention to my full time, the one that gives me my paper, then that's the one that I have to focus my time on. It also that, I like to give my rest and relaxation in. It is what it is, but I thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me. Thank you so much for your support, your new viewers, your returning viewers, and your subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And if you've been hanging out with me for a while and you have not become a subscriber, why don't you just go ahead on and subscribe to this page? Hey, I can't do these things without you. You subscribing, commenting, liking and hitting the like button and all of that stuff shows, lets the algorithm know, you guys are actually feeling me, right? And it is what it is. Moving right along. Now, what am I doing? Well, I'm trying to clean house. That's right. There's some R&B divas over in my community tab that I've been mentioning that I was going to do some commentary on. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to clean that up, go back, get those R&B divas out of the way so that I can feel like I've caught up. There's a lot of things that are on my calendar as it relates to R&B divas. So the calendar is full. Yes, it is. Of the things that I want to talk about, I have enough material to last me quite some time. But anywho, having said all of that, we're talking about Tanya Blount right now. And also, too, coming up, I will be covering Patrice Rushen, Denise Williams, Tina Moore, and Kathy Sledge. Yes, that's right. Today, I've actually went back and listened to all of those albums that I wanted to listen to by these R&B divas, and I'm going to discuss them, right? So let's just jump right into it again. Tanya Blount, right? I don't know why I've always said Tanya Blunt back in the day, but I'm going to say it's Tanya Blount. And now, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tanya Trotter. That's right. She is actually a married R&B diva. And it looks as if now she's going by the name Tanya Trotter, so on and so forth. But respectfully, we will talk about Tanya Blount as far as the release of her first album. I've never heard it before. I actually never heard any of her material. Unless it was released. And so we're talking about the Natural Theme album. That's right, the Natural Theme album that came out on the Polydor label. It was released March 8, 1994. And it had quite a few producers on the album. Steve Silk Hurley is a name that stands out the most to me. I don't know about any of the other guys, but that's all right. Kenny Hairston, Byron Burke, some guy by the name of Kevin Jackson, Herb Lawson, Eric Smooth Miller, David Sergeson, Byron Stingley, and Eric White. So it's quite a few producers, but let's just dive right into it, okay? What do we know about Tanya Blount? Right now, I know everybody knows her from Sister Act, right? She was in Sister Act 2, and her singing that little snippet of his eyes on a sparrow with what's that other diva name? Oh, I can't even think of that child's name. If you hadn't mentioned it to me, I probably would remember. Lauren Hill, that's right. Listen, hey, you guys, I'm trying to wake up as well. But anyway, so what do we know about her? Okay, as I said, she's a part of the Sister Act cast back in the Habit, and then she went on to release the album Natural Thing. She released three singles from that album. As a matter of fact, the first one is a song that I like. I really like that song, and it's called I'm gonna make you mine. The first release. The second release was Through the Rain, which is a song that I became familiar with her through the song Through the Rain. And then she released a third single from the Natural Thing album called Hold On. All right. So, how about this? Let's dive right into it. For those of you who are new to my channel and you're not quite sure how this works, it is just very simple. All I do is I go back and actually I do listen to my R&B divas music. Yes, I do. I go back, I listen to it sometimes for the very first time as far as the album is concerned. I would I'm familiar with some of the singles, but 9 times out of 10, not the entire album. So what I do is I go back and listen to the album and I only focus on the album. I only, I only dish out the dirt. That's right. From time to time, I've been known to dish out the dirt on who drop kicked who in these entertainment streets, but sometimes only when it relates to the album. If it's not related to the album, for the most part, I don't discuss it. You know, it's just what it is. Let people have their business. That's how I feel about it. You understand what I'm saying? But let's just dive right into it. Okay, I must say, I was pleasantly surprised with this album. I was. I like it like hands down. I like the album track for track. Oh my gosh, like whew, let me just stop and let me just slow down. Let me stay focused because you guys, if you watch me from a lot over here, then you know sometimes I can get sidetracked. So I'm trying to stay focused. But what I can clearly say here is that this album, Natural Thing, is definitely an album of the time, right? It's 1994. I'm familiar with some other divas that came out, like Changing Faces came out in 1994, if I'm not mistaken. So you're getting a different kind of vibe. And remember that I mentioned the name Steve Silk Hurley, right? So I became familiar with Steve Silk Hurley back in the day when you would see remixes, right? When an album was remixed or a song was remixed, this guy's name definitely would show up as one of the guys, one of the producers who would actually remix the record. I became familiar with this guy from In Vogue. That's right, in 1991. In Vogue released an album called Remix the Scene. It was, I guess, an EP from the Born to Sing album. And so when I got the Remix the Scene album, Steve Silk Hurley's name showed up as one of the producers on that album. I'm not quite sure which one it was. It could have been Lies. But anyway, that's how I became familiar with him. And then from that moment on, I just started liking the things that he has done. And of course, Steve Silk Hurley went on to write and produce songs for, I guess you could say remixed songs for Madonna, Michael Jackson, CeCe Peniston, um, Black Box, as I said, In Vogue, and Janet Jackson, just to name a few people. So anyway, and as I said before, Changing Faces. So if you remember Changing Faces when they came out in the day, then you can kind of get a feel of where I'm going when it comes to that album. I'm not quite sure what you want to call that sound at the time. Uh, of that day and time, what we would call that sound. I don't know if you would call it house music. I'm not quite sure, but it definitely did have a sound at the time. But anyway, diving right in. So he produced some of the tracks on the album, and I can tell you, the first song, I'm Gonna Make You Mine, as I said before, love the album. Steve Silk Hurley is the producer on the album for the single I'm Gonna Make You Mine. And what I like most about this song is that it's definitely in your face. Tanya Blunt, when you hear this record, she sounds like she's loud. Yes, and I mean loud. Like she is loud. uh, boisterous on this track, and she is ready to show up and show out. It's an up-tempo song, and as usual, sometimes over here I hear certain elements in these R&B divas' voices that reminds me of another R&B diva. And sure enough, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is definitely a Shantae Savage track. And there I am looking through the credits, and there it is. Shantae Savage is a co-writer on this song, and definitely the Shantae Savage influence goes throughout this album. Okay, and as I said, I love the track. It's an up tempo, very loud track. And it shows that she is ready. We definitely know what we came to do. We came here to sing and focus on the music, focus on the vocals. Everything is top notch, and Steve Silk Hurley definitely did not disappoint. And vocally, excuse me, I don't know why I want to say Shantae Savage, but vocally, Tanya Blunt did not disappoint as well. Now, as I said before, I became familiar with Tanya Blunt through uh, from the song "Through the Rain," and if you already know, it's 1994, as I said before, and I'm glued into Black Entertainment Television, BET. I'm watching Video Souls, Video Vibration, all of that stuff. And so this video shows up, and I'm like, wow, I really like this song, by this R&B diva, Tanya Blount. And I like the song a lot. When I first heard the song, it reminded me a lot of Malara's The Rain. You guys remember that? Don't want to go outside in the rain, Malara. I actually covered her over here as well. So please feel free to go and listen to my commentary on Malara's album as well. But Through the Rain, but when I heard the song, and I still feel the same way I felt then, I do feel right now. The song is it needed to be um, something is missing. I think the song is too slow, number one. Number two, I think the song is very like smoky, dark. And I think it needs to be livened up a little bit. Uh, and that's pretty much it. If they could have livened the song up a little bit, get it out of that smoky, dark kind of vibe, I think the song probably would have done better for her, on the charts. That's just my opinion. Also, going back to I'm Gonna Make You Mine, I was so disappointed to see that a track such as I'm Gonna Make You Mine did not fare well on the R&B charts as it should have. But it's 1994, and as you already know, times is definitely changing in the music industry. And so I can see how that song did not do well on the R&B charts because again, music is changing, and by the time 1997 rolls in, music has definitely kind of pushed out these type of singers. Okay, so that's another reason why I feel as if the song just did not do as well as it should have. All right, moving right along. So the next song, Hold On, is the third release from the album. And as I said, it's a typical ballad of its time. Now, when I hear this and hear her singing, I don't know why, but immediately I thought of Fantasia. That's right. But of course, you already know Fantasia is not out, right? Tanya Blount is definitely uh, pre Fantasia. So it's not like she's mimicking Fantasia. It could be that now Fantasia is finding herself in the category of a Tanya Blount. It is what it is. And so this definitely gives me a Fantasia type song. And so there you have it with that one. It's a song that I can listen to, and play. Not necessarily one of my favorites, but it's a favorite. But it's kind of like I can take it, I can leave it. It's what it is. If I hear it, I won't change the station. I'll put it that way. Then there's another song that she has, track number 4, called "No More Lies." It's an up-tempo track. I don't know. It sounds like there's an era of music that I get with this track. "No More Lies." I don't know if it's kind of like a 60s type sound that I'm feeling, but I don't know if it's an 80s type sound. I don't know if it's doo-wop, but there's an era of music that just kind of that's trying to come out of this track, and it's trying to. I hear it, but I just can't pinpoint it. But it's not a song that I definitely care too much for. This one here, when I say take it or leave it, I could definitely leave it. I don't have to hear it again. It's just what it is. Now, the next single from the album, or the next song on the album, track 6, is a song called Love Ballad. That's right. Jeffrey Osborne, Love Ballad. Now, when it's time for me to hear the song, and I'm looking at it and I say Love Ballad, and I'm like, okay, is this a different song or is it the Love Ballad? And it's definitely the Love Ballad that we all know from Jeffrey Osborne. And so I'm sitting back, bracing myself because I'm like, oh my gosh, let me see what is this song is going to sound like. And as it's playing, and of course, I'm saying to myself, okay, I can get with it, I suppose. This, it's not so much take it or leave it, but you have to understand sometimes when it comes to these remakes, you kind of brace yourself because a song like Love Ballad is such a great song. Jeffrey Osborne is definitely a great singer. We all love this song, and yet when I hear a remake of a song, I'm bracing myself like, okay, are you going to try to outdo this singer and fail miserably? Are you going to try to put your spin on it? And I like the original so much so that I don't want to hear a spin. When I say a spin, some people say, well, I'm trying to update the song a little bit and make it more for the time and so on and so forth. And I'm like, no, you don't need to do that to a favorite song of mine. Stay the way it needs to stay. In the case of Layla Hathaway, when she's singing Anita Baker's Angel and Luther Vandross's Forever Far Always for Love. You see, she did not mess with anything. She stayed true to the track and to the vocals, and I love it. As I said, I could say take it or leave it, but it's a great song. I'm Tanya Blunt did not disappoint at all with Love Ballad. She didn't, and I think that that's the thing that I'm getting with Tanya Blunt. This girl can sing, and I hate to say the word girl. This R&B diva, she can definitely sing. She has the chops. She does, and they allow her to just let it rip and let it flow. And it sounds like to me, as I hear this album, they understood what they could do with her voice, and they did not try to deviate from that at all. Speaking of what they knew what they could do with the voice, for whatever reason, track 6 is a song called "Is It Love?" It's a duet song with a R&B soul man, Freddie Jackson. Uh, and Jackson is definitely in perfect vocal shape here. He is definitely Freddie Jackson. I mean, they did not even try to deviate from Freddie Jackson's sound. As a matter of fact, I'm interested in knowing how this collab came together between the two of them. And as I'm listening to this track, I'm just like, I just love it because I hear Freddie Jackson sing it, and I'm like, yes, this is good. I like Freddie Jackson. I'm gonna like this song. It's definitely in the style of Freddie Jackson. And Tanya definitely compliments Freddie a lot. This is not what you would call a Melba Moore Freddie Jackson, just a little bit more type of song. But at the end of the day, this song definitely has is bringing more, if you will, to um, Tanya Blunt's album. Like it's definitely not something that is hindering. It's definitely helping, and it's also co-written by a guy by the name of Mark Nelson. Now I'm familiar with Mark Nelson from back in the day. I think this is the Mark Nelson that was a former member of Boyz to the Men back in the day. Before they hit big, Boyz to Men, he was a member. I think it's this Mark Nelson. I do know he's a part of a boy band, or was a part of a boy band, and then he left. And maybe he was a part of two boy bands. Maybe he was a part of Boyz to Men before they hit big, and then he went to another boy band, R&B band, and then he maybe left that group. But either way, it is what it is. Love the song. Love the song. Then we get to track number 7, a song called "Spend the Night." Yes, it is co-written by a favorite R&B diva over here, Cindy Mizelle. We love Cindy Mizelle over here. And you know what? Just because it's Cindy Mizelle, I'm going to like the song "Spend Another Night." But I'm here to tell you, it's not that I'm just liking it because it's Cindy Mizelle. The song is definitely a great song. Tanya Blunt definitely does not disappoint on this album. Then we go into other tracks like Natural Thing and For All the Right Reasons. I can take it or leave it. So right now we're looking at three songs. I'm not too much feeling. Track four, No More Lies. Number eight, Natural Theme. And number nine, For All the Right Reasons. I can take them. I can leave them. It is what it is. It's just you're not going to like everything, and sometimes you do. But I'm here to tell you, track number 10, a song called Baby Love. Oh, do I love a dance track? And this is the track on the album. I'm here to tell you that it's going to make you want to get out on the floor and shake your groove thing. I promise you it is. It's going to get you in the groove. It's going to definitely make you want to dance. It's a great dance track. As usual, Tanya Blount is definitely having fun on this album. She's showcasing her vocal abilities. She's having fun. She's loving it. You can tell the producers are loving it. They're enjoying the writing. I think that this probably was a wonderful and a great creative process for all of those that were involved on Tanya Blunt's debut album, Natural Thing. Unfortunately, it just really didn't hit for her as it should have, being how strong the album was and being that it was definitely on a major label, the Polydor label. So you definitely would have thought that it would have definitely hit for her. Everything. This is some strong material on this album, strong vocals, but I think it's probably because again she is a new artist coming out. She's definitely competing with some major divas at the time. You got your Tony Braxtons, you have your Mariah Careys, you have all of these other divas that are out, and she just found herself, you know, probably put in the R&B category as most R&B divas are placed in, and maybe it just wasn't a lot of place for her music to get played, and especially in 1994 when the music industry, even when it comes to urban music or black music, as some would call it, or just R&B music, it's definitely that format is changing as well. And so there you have it. That's probably the reason why the album did not do as well as it should have for her. Now, it is what it is. Over here at Pepe's Point of View, I want to appreciate you guys so much for stopping by over here, for hanging out with me. And if you made it this far into my commentary, then I want to personally say, hey, hang out with me. Hit the like button, the subscribe button if you enjoy this commentary talking about R&B divas over here. My main goal is pretty much to promote the music. That's what I want to do. Promote the R&B divas and the music that I love so much. And my motto over here is simple. Remember to put your behind where your heart desires to be. And whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, she says, baby, remember I love you, but God loves you best. I look forward to seeing you next video. And until then, you guys know what to do. Take care of yourselves. All right.